You got it. 1K speed for 1K hours. Apparently, that's the way that it goes. I was listening to my 15,000 hours. You'd be fucking as fast as a killer. Crazy, right? But apparently that's what happens when you put 15,000 hours into the game, which totally is not you idling in the Steam menu when you sleep. Yeah. Yeah, guys. Isn't it fun? Isn't that funny? Isn't it kind of fun? Uh-huh. Kind of weird. Kind of fucking weird. I was listening to my audio last night. It definitely seems like there's like a hiss or some sort of weird effect to the audio. I'm not sure what it was on my voice that is, now with the game audio. Something going on with my microphone. It has kind of like a grating sound to it. I'm not exactly certain what it was. I think my gain might be too high, but my peak light never comes on, so I'm not exactly sure what that means. Maybe we can turn the gain down a little bit. Turn up my volume, like that, maybe? And that, no, I'm a lot quieter now. So maybe turn that up even more, like right there. It's like, gain is one of those things I still don't really completely understand. It's like supposed to broaden the sound or something like that. Whereas volume just straight up turns up your overall volume or something. One like limits the range and the other one just increases your volume. I don't really understand the differentiation between the two. But if you turn up your gain too much, it makes it go wow, 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 wow. Yeah, good. Alrighty. Okay, well, tonight, guys, we're going to be playing some more dibs. We got a lot of really sweaty games last night, and definitely ran into a fair number of cheaters as well. And apparently that's going to be going forward. I'm not exactly sure why that's happening right now. Might have something to do with our friend in chat. Yeah. Very vocal friend in chat. Not always in a good way. There wasn't any good or bad. It was just basically bad. And then when stuff that they were doing didn't seem to grate me, they just shift to other things to try and grate me too. But they're banned now, so good stuff. You can tell when people hate their lives. Once again, you can weigh and balance the idea. You know, let's imagine that you believe in this metaphorical construct of a person that plays games 24/7, 365, and then becomes a god in the game, despite the fact you can't become a god in the game because the games are programmed in certain ways in which you can't become a god in the game. This isn't like Sword Art Online. You can't become a god with the power of feelings. You are limited by the mechanics that are put into the game. Putting that aside, why would you ever believe in someone that plays 24/7, 365 and somehow has a functioning life compared to someone that got yelled at Best Buy, came home, and was like, fuck, I want to shit on some players today, and then went and bought a cheat for $10 a month? Yeah. So why would you believe in the guy that spends 24/7, 365 in his parents' basement forever, which we encounter relatively regularly, compared to the guy that works retail that got yelled at because he hates his fucking job and he hates his life? He wants to go shit on some people to displace some of the feelings that he had during his daytime hours. I don't know. I don't actually know. It's almost like I mentioned before, the adolescent kind of viewpoint of people that think people do not cheat online is actually kind of mind-blowing when you put it into context with the rest of reality. Cheating's easy. Cheating is incredibly easy and depends on what software you're using. I don't actually name the software because I don't know. I think that'd actually get me banned on Twitch. But yeah. But I talk about everything that they have in the software, which is what my cheats link is, which is just a bunch of cheats that are available. So to raise awareness of stuff that they can do, which is pretty ridiculous, so people have an idea of what people are actually capable of when they cheat. I don't know, guys. I still don't understand why people think that there's this magical group of people that become gods in video games. Every 1,000 hours you gain 1% speed is actually something, like, they don't outright say it, but it's something they want you to believe as a survivor. Like, when you W key in a straight line, you don't go faster the more time you have played in this game. W key is literally just 115 versus 100%, and you catching up to that 100%. That's it. That's all it is. There's nothing else to it. There's no skill. There's no input from the other player besides moving forward. There's no way that you can actually, and the amount of time it takes is going to depend on how fast both players are running, which is limited by the game. But some people want you to think otherwise, and I don't really understand it. I don't understand this adolescent viewpoint. Obviously, there's going to be people that are playing Subterfuge too, which I don't think is everyone, by the way, that says no one's cheating in video games. I think for the longest time, people just assume that like this is kind of like some sort of honorable duel between players, between people, where you have two individuals that are battling for the fucking to become the next Shinobi or something. I don't fucking know. Pretty crazy stuff. I don't know, guys. Anyways, tonight we're probably going to be playing more Nemesis as it turns out. It is, difficult to play. Like, Legion kind of works against high MMR survivors, but, like, if they're cheating, it does not work at all. They'll just literally pre-drop a pallet and wait on it for you to break it, run to the next one, pre-drop a pallet, wait on it. Pre-drop the pallet and wait on it. Dude, please don't spread political bullshit to my chat. Especially stuff I'm not interested in. But I hope you're having a wonderful evening, regardless. Good, good, good. I did say I wanted to watch Kenobi, as I think everyone should, because it's one of those things that everyone's interested in, and it's kind of amazing how much they're fucking up Star Wars nowadays. Okay, well, you can stand up for your black brothers in other people's chats. I mean, who are you standing up for them in front of here? Me? Like, I'm not your opposing side. I believe in equality. Not that kind of channel, dude. Let's take a look at what we got going on here, though. Prime Rail Transport. Electric kettle. It's kind of funny. I was watching I was watching a UK streamer, and he was talking about having an electric kettle, and you think it's like fucking fire. Like, having an electric kettle is such a cool thing, right? And I was like, you know, no one in the US has electric kettles. He's like, why is that? Why doesn't anyone do that? I said, you just boil water on your stove, right? If you want to make tea, you boil water in a kettle on your stove. So you don't even need electric kettle. And the response to that was, that's like archaic or something. Not exactly sure how water out of an electric kettle is different from water out of a kettle on a stove, but apparently it is. Like, kind of the equivalent of an electric kettle over here is coffee maker. Almost everyone has coffee makers, especially K-cups nowadays are very, very prominent. Why are you inviting your friends here, dude? What the fuck is that? Okay. I mean, I don't know, once again, who you're preaching to. But not what my channel's about. You can go protest in someone else's channel that's actually talking about it, but I'm not, so. Oh, buddy. Anyways. I didn't actually watch... Critical Drinker is actually pretty good. I didn't actually watch the take on Loki. Loki was actually pretty bad. Mainly where they replace the character you want to see with a female version of himself that you don't really care about. And then she just kind of takes over the dialogue and scenes, which is kind of interesting. Bad Batch 2. Didn't watch first Bad Batch. I heard it's pretty terrible. Oh, I don't have my instigated glasses on, guys. Ah, yes. One moment. Oh, there we go. Much better. Much more engaging. Rings of Power is a PR disaster. This might be a podcast. I'm not a big fan of his podcast. It is. Don't care. Where like his well-written pieces are pretty good, but when he sits there and just literally just bullshits with another guy, not a fan of that. I don't know why it keeps popping this up about F-22 flight controls. This always ends up on my feed. I have no idea why. It's been here for like 3 months. Toxic fun fandom. Yeah, I've heard. I don't really. Critical Drinker tends to have a synopsis in his reviews, and as such, basically spoils a lot of shows. And I actually do want to watch. Kenobi. School Police, another politically charged issue. John Oliver's stuff in general tends to be politically charged. Let's take a look at Critical Drinkers.
You know, one of the charming little phrases that really seems to be doing the rounds these days is toxic fandoms. And holy shit, are they...
Okay. Wait, you literally, like, segue straight out of talking about, Martin Luther King into Rogue One. What the fuck, dude?
They tearing the arse out of this one. It seems like everywhere you look, there's a tidal wave of hand-wringing, self-righteous op-eds bemoaning the toxic state of whatever fandom...
I gotta get my coffee real quick, guys. Be right back. Rogue One was alright, though. It was probably one of the better new Star Wars movies, I would say. Even though it wasn't like one of the three new big ones, right?
is currently in the news. Star Wars, Star Trek, Ghostbusters,
Oh, the new
Lord
Star
of the
Treks are
Rings.
fucking terrible.
Shit, man, even Halo fans are toxic now, apparently.
Halo is fucking
so what
terrible,
the fuck's
too.
going on? Why is every fandom suddenly more hazardous to your health than a 2-week self-catering holiday in Chernobyl? Well, all of this stuff came to a bit of a head recently when Moses Ingram, one of the main actors in Kenobi, shared a couple of samples of the abuse she'd been getting on Instagram. Nasty stuff that she absolutely didn't deserve. But what's even more interesting is the media firestorm that erupted in the wake of it. Suddenly articles started popping up everywhere complaining about the toxic state of the Star Wars fandom, how it's riddled with ists and phobes, and how something needs to be done, goddammit. Even the official Star Wars Twitter account decided to weigh in on the situation because, you know, insulting your own fanbase and lumping everyone into the same basket is a surefire way to get people on your sides. Now, if I was a cynical man,
there's a lot of reasons to hate the new Star Wars movies that has nothing to do with phobiaisms or phobes or isms.
They were practically counting on. Because if you're able to focus everyone's attention on allegations of abuse and discrimination
poor characters, bad character development,
then suddenly all the actual criticisms of your show get conveniently forgotten about. Because let's be honest here, who cares about the opinions of a group of toxic haters that were never going to be happy anyway? But here's the problem. The overwhelming majority of the criticism for this show had absolutely nothing to do with one particular actress, much less the innate characteristics she was born with. Based on pretty much every video and Twitter post that I've seen on this subject, people are annoyed because it's becoming increasingly obvious with every passing episode that Kenobi isn't really about Kenobi. It's just another example of Lucasfilm.
So, I'm going to stipulate here, I have not watched Kenobi, but then Kenobi has also not finished airing, so this isn't going to spoil everything in the series, which is why I'm watching it right now. I have watched Book of Boba Fett. Mandalorian was alright, but then it was kind of like just a slice of life show. It wasn't even really a Star Wars show. It was just like watching Mando run around with Grogu. Like, literally watch him run around with Grogu and be cute and shit like that, and then do Star Wars stuff, right? That's basically it. And then when it actually push came to shove, when there's actually had to be a battle of wits, like when his ideological beliefs were being confronted by Bo, he just turned into a child, and Mando turned into a child and literally could not articulate why he thought what he did. And unfortunately, that's kind of the way the show went. And then in Book of Boba Fett, it wasn't, they didn't even follow, like, Baba, they did follow him around, but then it wasn't even really about Baba. It was about, what's her name? The chick. The hot Asian chick. I gotta look up her name now. She's in a couple different series, though. She's in picture right now, but I can't, because it finished airing. Heroes of S.H.I.E.L.D., something S.H.I.E.L.D., Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., she is one of the main characters in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and she's also in Star Trek Discovery, off and on, and then I think she is also in, there's another one. Shit, I just watched it too. We talked about this after the series finished airing. Fennec. There she is. Fennec. You probably know her exactly who I'm talking about when you see her photo. She's been in a couple different stuff. Pretty good actor. But anyways, the writing in Book of Boba Fett was so bad. Like, Book of Boba Fett's supposed to, he's a mercenary, right? He's supposed to present himself as a warlord, as someone that's in control. But every time it came down to a situation where he had to project an aura of power, she took over conversations, and literally she just had voice lines instead of him. It actually made the series pretty. He, like, ended up being a character that just sat there while she talked the entire time. It was really fucking weird. And when the push came to shove, she's always the one that, like, lays down the hammer, so to speak. And it became very disheartening. And then it was just like, it was so fucking random. Then partway through the series, it's like they inserted Mando into it. Like, he had like 2 episodes in there. Out of like the 8 episodes, he had like 2 episodes that were just about him. It's so fucking weird. It's just out of the ordinary where they just, hey, let's go talk about Mando. Oh, okay. And then they just do fucking weird shit. Like, 2 mercenaries that are supposed to actually be capable of, being proficient fighters, right? Just like, they like jumped into the center of an intersection and just got gunned down. It was so fucking weird. Like, they have a jetpack, and instead of jumping onto the top of the buildings, they jumped into the middle of an intersection to get gunned by everyone in every direction. It made no fucking sense. And instead of doing like what was it? Later on in the series, they had some robots that came out, like Clone Wars stuff, like hardcore military arms. I forgot what they're called. I think they're the Rolly guys, if I remember right. Anyways, they couldn't, defeat them, and then he had to go get his Rancor out. Instead of going and getting a spaceship, which he owns, to shoot them, he goes and gets a Rancor. And you're like, what the fuck is even going on here? There's a lot of reasons Book of Boba Fett was terrible. It had nothing to do with it.
Film milking a popular legacy character for their name recognition, then altering
Yeah, there's a lot of they have a lot of crossovers in
removing
Fortnite.
most of their agency, charisma, resilience, skill, and intelligence, and generally diminishing them so they can play second fiddle to the new original character that the show is actually focused on. And I think that infamous tweet from the official Star Wars account gave away more than they'd intended. Now pay attention, 007, because this bit's important. They are excited for Reva's story to unfold. I think that tells you pretty much everything you need to know about the writer's intentions here. The show might be called Kenobi, but it's actually Reva's story. It's a classic bait and switch
Book of Boba Fett was
tactic
actually
to drum
about
up
Fennec.
interest in something that most people wouldn't have given a shit about. Lucasfilm have been lying to their own fan base, promising one thing but delivering something else, and now that they've been found out, what do they do?
I mean, I guess it wasn't just about
they
Fennec,
could
Fennec
take
and
the
Mando.
criticism on the chin,
So fucking
acknowledge
weird.
that what they delivered may not have been what was promised, and ask people to judge the show on its own merits. Or they could create a manufactured controversy to simultaneously draw attention away from their devious skullduggery and publicly discredit their most vocal critics. I wonder which one they
Subterfuge,
chose.
guys.
It was basically the same deal with Star Trek Discovery. A lot of people had some pretty valid criticisms of main character Michael Burnham, namely that she was a very obvious retcon.
She's a fucking
inserted into
cardboard
a
cutout.
storyline that she was never meant to be
Like, as an
part
actor,
of,
she's
that
terrible.
The writers diminished and undermined established legacy characters to elevate her to borderline messiah who solves almost every problem single-handed, or that she generally comes across as arrogant, self-righteous, disrespectful, impulsive, and insubordinate without ever answering for these flaws. But no, clearly toxic fans just hated her because of her gender and skin color, ignoring the fact that there's been decades of popular
There's actually a name for
characters
this.
of every race,
It's
sex,
called,
and species long before Saint Michael was ever
victim
dreamed up.
poisoning?
Or how about Ghostbusters 2016? Were fans angry because the studio shit-canned a sequel they'd been wanting for years and instead delivered a dumb, cartoonish,
Hope it
painfully
wrote it down.
unfunny
Victim
reboot that absolutely
poisoning,
nobody asked
victim
for,
shaming,
directed
not
by a
victim
man
shaming.
with zero understanding of the subject matter? Or did they just hate it because women bad? Or how about
No,
Rings
it's
of
pretty
Power?
fucking
Do you
terrible.
think Tolkien fans are pushing back against the show's very obvious attempts to twist and alter the lore of a classic and beloved fantasy world and infuse it with divisive 21st century sensibilities and ideology? Or do you think they just instinctively lose their minds at the prospect of different levels of melanin being shown on screen? What all this comes down to is another little phrase that started to pop up quite a bit in recent years: crafting the narrative. See, most people aren't
Subterfuge.
really driven by
Subterfuge is a good
facts
word,
and
guys.
figures and data points because those things have to be studied in detail and understood and interpreted, and all of that takes time and effort. And that's a real problem because people today are usually too busy, too distracted by a dozen other demands on their attention, or just too fucking lazy to do actual research of their own. What they need instead is something that generates a visceral emotional reaction to get them engaged. A series of extreme sensationalized examples strung together into a simple, cohesive, easy to digest opinion, i.e. a narrative. And if that opinion happens to line up with what they already believe, because they've been told the same thing by a bunch of other sources, then so much the better. And that's exactly what we're seeing now. A very obvious attempt to craft a new narrative and use it to shame and ridicule anyone who dares to criticize their work. This movie isn't actually shit, it's just the work of toxic fans who are never happy with anything. This character isn't badly written, unlikable, or awkwardly inserted into a story they don't belong in, it's just toxic.
She was fucking terrible. She should never have been in the series. Also, what the fuck did they do with Finn? Finn was a huge letdown. Another reason that the 3 new Star Wars movies are terrible. Like, they presented Finn to be like this Jedi, and he fucking turned into like a joke. It was the biggest cuckblock ever. Like, you thought, like, when the trailers came out that Finn was going to be the Jedi. And then he wasn't. I mean, he kind of has, like, powers, but... Spoiler, by the way. But they aren't remotely relevant.
Fans who can't stand to see
Fucking
diversity
terrible.
or inclusion. This actor didn't deliver an unconvincing performance or make a bunch of dumb statements in real life. The backlash against them is just down to a fundamentally toxic fandom. Every single time, the same accusations of bigotry and toxicity get flung around like monkeys
Victim
throwing their
play?
poo at each other. But
Yes.
what does any of this
Victim
actually
play.
accomplish except to piss off and alienate the very people that you're trying to appeal to? Moderate fans who might have had a few issues with shows like Kenobi.
Victim playing is a fabrication or exaggeration of victimhood for a variety of reasons, such as to justify abuse of others, to manipulate others, a coping strategy, attention seeking, or diffusion of responsibility. A person who repeatedly does this is known as a professional victim. Never heard this one. Victim playing is something that I learned about relatively recently. The idea there is something where people will present themselves as someone that has been victimized when in fact they're just doing it to manipulate the opinions of others. It's kind of a play on what's happening here, but not exactly the same thing. And you can definitely do it. For sure. Like if you're a kid's, let's imagine you're kids, right? Back when you're in kids, you have brothers and sisters, and maybe someone instigated a fight. I had a brother like this, by the way. Someone would instigate a fight, which he's really good at. And then when parents would show up, he would act like he's actually the victim and that they instigated the fight with him. And then played the fact that he's younger and generally smaller than his other brothers, and to making the parents believe that he was actually right when he wasn't. Yeah. So very much a play on that.
But generally still support new Star Wars projects are going to feel like they're being unfairly labelled as something that they're not. People who were already hostile to Disney and Lucasfilm are going to have their opinions vindicated by a company that seems determined to antagonise them. This constant cycle of social media sniping, suspiciously timed hit piece articles and preachy opinion pieces only serves to contribute to a general atmosphere of animosity and resentment between fans and studios. The more you bite back at your fans and try to score short-term victories over them, the more you'll piss them off in the long run and the less forgiving they'll be of your
That's
next
not actually in the
project.
dictionary.
This means more criticism of your work, which in turn leads to more counterattacks, and well, I think you get the drift. Like Star Trek Picard showrunner Michael Chabon, who straight up admitted that he made certain creative decisions simply to provoke and piss off elements of the fan base that he decided were toxic. He asks himself a serious question: do you really think this kind of spiteful, childish bullshit is going to win people over to your side? Basically what I'm saying here is that if you treat your own fans like enemies, then that's
shit.
exactly
Doesn't
what you're
pop up
going
in
to
my
make
dictionary,
them.
guys.
Now all that being said, I don't doubt for a
Edit
second
anyways.
that there are some genuinely shitty individuals out there, and they should rightly be called out for their bigotry, but that's exactly what they are, individuals. They don't represent the larger fan base they claim to be part of, and trying to tar everyone with the same brush is disingenuous as fuck. Toxicity isn't some convenient label that you can just slap on anyone who dares to criticize you. It's not a magical shield to protect you from negative feedback. Criticizing bad storytelling isn't toxic.
There you go.
Criticizing a
Add a
director who
custom
delivered
definition.
a poor product, an actor who turned in a bad performance, or said stupid things in real life isn't toxic. If people have a problem with the story that you've told, the characters you've written, or even the opinions you've expressed in public, then they have every right to call you out on it. You're not obliged to listen to them,
Back
but you
when-
don't get to silence or discredit them just because you don't like what they're saying. Because if those are the kind of underhanded tactics that you find yourself relying on, then maybe it's
Back when
time
Patrick
to start
Stewart
asking
actually used to
yourself
make
who the
good
toxic
Star
one
Wars
really
movies or Star
is.
Trek movies, yeah.
Anyway,
First
that's
Contact
all
was
I've
really
got
good.
for today. Go away
Probably
now.
peak Star Trek right there is First Contact. Sadly, and it's kind of just all went downhill. Yeah, so if you guys haven't heard, even I've heard about this and I haven't watched Kenobi at all. A lot of people are catching flack for apparently she's supposed to be a fantastic villain, and she's not really. And people are pointed out, and it's turning into a race thing. That's basically what this piece was about. And it kind of sucks that we've gotten to the point where people are generally manipulating public opinion in order to make something bad good, right? We've talked about this before with women's soccer. I don't know if you guys remember back in, was it 2020 or 2019? There's a big deal about the women's soccer team making less than the men's soccer team in the U.S. I don't know if you guys remember that. That was a while ago. And it's all over feeds. It's all over my Twitter. It's all over my Facebook. People that don't even like soccer talking about soccer. Yeah, and it was a big deal. And because the women's soccer team in the U.S. is actually pretty good, and the men's soccer team in the U.S. is actually pretty bad, if you guys aren't aware to that. I don't even care about soccer. I don't like soccer. The only reason I know about this is because it was all over the place, and I still don't like soccer or football, actually, as the kids call it in other parts of the world, football. I'm not into football. And the thing was, you had to support them. I had friends that are generally into supporting minorities, especially LGBT. Friends that were supporting them and talking about how you should watch women's soccer and care about how much they're making and stuff like that because it shows the income disparity between men and women, right? And to be fair, there can be valid points about that, but also to be fair, men working at the same job for the same number of years in the same positions, just doing different things in the same positions, and have same families will be making different amounts of money because part of you working in a company is negotiating your salary and making sure that you ask for raises and you know your worth. Because people don't get paid the same amounts. It doesn't matter what position you're in. People don't get paid the same amount because part of you as a person is marketing yourself, being able to ask for more money, knowing when to look for a new job, and not just sticking to your guns and expect the system to work for you because it doesn't. In capitalism, in companies, it's literally all about just making as much money as humanly possible, and that involves paying people as little as possible, assuming they're willing to tolerate it and not going to go to other companies and it doesn't hurt productivity. There's a lot of metrics that weigh into that, but at the end of the day, it's not. You don't just get paid the same amount because you do similar things, and then of course it comes down to things like productivity, how good you are at your job, right? Productivity bonuses. There's all different sorts of things for that. But kind of segueing here, but going back to women's soccer, and it was like 2019. I don't think they won the World Cup, but they got close or something like that. And then everyone's raising a fuss about how much the men's team was making compared to them. How much they make depends entirely on how many sponsors they have and how many eyeballs they have watching it. Men's soccer is incredibly prominent across the world. It's not in the U.S. It's not really big. We have normal football here, right? Everyone's big into normal football here, not so much soccer. In the rest of the world, everyone cares about soccer or their football, right? Everyone cares about soccer or their football. In the U.S., it is about like American football, right? But it's incredibly prominent across the world. But that being said, people watch the men's football league because when it comes down to sports, people generally want to watch the best. They don't want to watch women play, and there's a whole reason we have a women's league compared to a men's league. It's because they can't always perform. Depending on the sport, they can't always perform the same way as men. And that has a lot to do with bone density, muscle mass, hormones, what when you grew up, how you're born. It's not necessarily something that you can just get good at. You can't just get good at your gender. It doesn't work that way, right? And that's why we have segregated leagues, because it actually makes sense in the terms of having women so they can compete against other women and men compete against other men, or whoever now falls into that category, I guess. But anyways, in the case of men, they can perform generally higher in strenuous tasks like running, distance running, lifting, stuff like that. They can perform better than women, and as such, it's more interesting to watch because it comes down to extremes. Just like on Twitch, like when you're looking for people and watching them because of performance, and this is not only the only reason people watch people on Twitch, but it comes down to things like performance. You want to watch the best. You want to watch Stroud, right? That's basically an aimbot because he has a neuron connected to a finger, right? But not everyone falls into that category, and as such, you have a wealth disparity or a pay gap between the two because investors are willing to go where the eyeballs are, which is in men's soccer, and not invest as much and pay for ad time in women's soccer because not nearly as many people watch women's soccer compared to men's soccer when you're talking about like the World Cup. And as such, they're going to pay less, and then that means the women's soccer team is going to make less because no one's watching it. So it doesn't matter whether or not you have a women's soccer league that performs really well and a men's soccer league that does horrible, because at the end of the day, it comes down to how many people are willing to watch this compared to how many people are willing to watch this, and that's where your money goes. It goes into whoever gets the most views is basically what it comes down to. Who gets the most views, and your ad spot has the most relevance, right? In the case of women's soccer, you can't during ad spots, you can't market grills, and trucks probably are not going to sell. But during men's soccer, you have weird ass stuff that markets towards men, and men are willing to go out and buy a grill, but like stuff that you market towards women, what? It comes down to like beauty products, which they probably aren't a fan of because you're going to run into a bunch of people that are very non-traditional in that area because of their beliefs, and what? Beauty products and clothes and stuff that doesn't make a lot of money, right? Like high margin products, stuff that is worth a lot of money if you sell it. Maybe phones appeal to a lot of people, right? Being trendy, Apple stuff. But at the end of the day, like the people that are willing to pay for ad spots are different in men's leagues compared to women's leagues because the amount of eyeballs you have and the demographic you're marketing to are completely different things. But at the end of the day, they just compared men's soccer versus women's soccer and said, hey, the men's soccer team was terrible because they were, and the women's soccer team was pretty fucking good because they were. But at the end of the day, it had nothing to do with that. It had to do with viewership and demographics that they're marketing to, and then whether or not they're willing to pay for ad spots, and then as such, they get paid more. But they announced something, I believe, this year that they're going to be paid the same amount of money. So I guess they have that going for them, and I guess they all get a pay raise, so good for them, I suppose. But at the end of the day, like I said, it comes down to viewership and willing to pay for ad spots. And that probably means they're just going to take money from somewhere else that they're going to spend it on, and now they aren't going to, so I don't know. Money doesn't generally come out of anywhere, guys, or out of nowhere, excuse me. Yeah. Good stuff, guys. I don't know. Anyways, guys, it's just it's a pretty complex issue, but a lot of people like to sum it up in, what is it called? Non-comparative? Non-sequitur? No. The logical fallacy. A conclusion or statement that does not logically follow the previous argument or statement. That's a good one, too. Or you prove a point about something else and you say, therefore, oh, you're just an idiot or something. Not an idiot. Joe's bad at his job or something. Like when you're talking about football or something. Really fucking weird. Yeah. Logical fallacy. False equivalence. There we go. They aren't directly comparable. There it is. It's a logical fallacy in which an equivalence is drawn between two subjects based on flawed or false reasoning. This fallacy is categorized as a fallacy of inconsistency. Colloquially, that's a hard word by the way. Colloquially, a false equivalence is often called comparing apples and oranges. Yeah. So they're both soccer teams, which is true. They're both competing, which is true. But they're in two different leagues, and as such, their income are two different things because the viewership they get is different. It seems like they're, It seems like they're the same, but they aren't. And people are starting drama again with me, guys. Oh my god, not even talking about on stream. While I'm streaming. It's like exactly at the same time. Fucking hilarious. Yeah, that's pretty rough. I was talking about last night about one of my friends that's kind of in an abusive relationship, and he's leaving, which is good after a lot of arguing. He's leaving, and now she's turning... Codependent relationships, guys, are one of the hardest fucking things to deal with as a friend outside of it. I'm going to say that right now. If you've ever... It's also dealing with people with BPD, which is bipolar disorder, because they'll say all sorts of really fucking hurtful things, and then they'll act like you can't hold them accountable for it because they have BPD. That's very, very difficult to deal with. Incredibly, incredibly difficult to deal with. But in the case of a codependent relationship, you have someone who is in a very unhealthy position, and they will still, despite the person being really, really bad for them, in the case of In this case, we're talking about beating them sort of ordeal. Yeah, physical abuse. Really, really bad for them. And they'll still act like they love them. And you know the Family Guy episode where they say, or maybe it's American Dad, where they make a joke about he beats me because he loves me. Yeah, like they actually think that. That's one of the most disheartening things about it, is they think that their abuse is a form of love and that they need them because they beat them. I'm not even joking about that. It is horrible to deal with. From the outside, dealing with friends, it is very, very, very difficult to deal with that shit because you know it's bad for them. All their friends, and it's like, why does the funny thing about it? She's like, why does everyone think it's bad that he's around? He's a good guy. He just has some issues, and you're like, no, you shouldn't be around him. He should learn to deal with his own feelings like a grown up, right? And he doesn't. He literally just takes it out on her, and then like it gets really fucked up too. Like the other day we were talking, and because one of her other friends got angry at him because of what he does, he said that she was no longer allowed to talk to him. I'm not even joking about this. She also wasn't supposed to talk to me, by the way. She was no longer allowed to talk to him, and then she said she displaced that anger from not being allowed to talk to her back to her. So instead of being angry at her boyfriend, who was being incredibly abusive, instead of being angry at the person that said you can't talk to him anymore, she was angry at her friend for making her boyfriend angry. Yeah, this is pretty fucked up shit. So she was angry and asserted that her friend, who pissed off her boyfriend, was at fault because otherwise he would have allowed her to keep talking to her. And she is another chick. Keep talking to her. And like, it is just beyond it. Like, they will not hold their abusive other. It could be a boyfriend, girlfriend, emotionally abusive, especially in the case of a girlfriend. They can hold their boyfriend, girlfriend. They will not hold them accountable for their actions, and instead they will displace, which is a psychology term, they will displace what they feel for them to other people. At one point, she was blaming me because it was really fucked up. She was blaming me for things that he would say openly to other people on the fact that I made him angry. Yeah, like she would not hold him accountable for the stuff that he does, and instead would hold other people accountable for the stuff that he does. It was pretty incredible, guys. I don't even know. And at this point, like, finally, like I told her, like, there's a lot of stuff I'm not telling you right now, and I'm not gonna get too much into it in chat, but basically, I said that she should take a break from it, and she should be able to stay away from him for essentially a week, not talk to him at all. And that went one day without them talking to each other again. And now apparently he came back to get his shit and move out, which apparently he never moved in, by the way. Get his shit, and she's angry now because he's leaving, and that's not really like he should have left. She should never have talked to him in the first place. She knew. This is a past ex, by the way. It's someone that she knew was bad and started talking to him again. It is really, codependent relationships are really, really, really fucked up, guys. It is very difficult to deal with them. And it really hurts. As a friend, it really hurts to see other people go through this stuff. Because almost nothing you can say will make a difference. You really have to seek professional therapy in order to deal with this stuff. As a person, it will tear you down. As a friend, it will tear you down because there's almost nothing you can do to help them. And it really hurts. Like, you can see all the red flags, you can point them out, and they just don't care. It is so incredibly difficult to deal with that, guys. It was pretty horrible. God. And then at the same time, like, they emotionally try to force their feelings onto other people. People very much are misery loves company. People very much love having other people feel the same way that they do, so it makes them feel better at being in the position they're in. So when you're on Twitch, for instance, you see people come into their chat and just start shit and then act like an asshole. Yeah, those are generally people that hate their life, and they're doing it because they want to feel better. Trolls in general, like hardcore trolls, are people that literally fall into the category like they hate their life. They can say whatever they want about just, it's for giggles, shits and giggles, but it's generally not. It's because they're trying to feel better about their shit life and the problems they've had in it by making other people's lives miserable. But anyways, let's see. It is 12. I think we'll move on. Get into playing some video games. Controversy of their fans. I see. They changed the spline direction. Pretty rough stuff, guys. Yep. Ring of Power. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's going to be terrible. I think everyone has came to the same conclusion with the Black Elves and the trans or non-binary hobbits or whatever they are. Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. As it turns out, it's not actually about telling a story anymore. Let's take a look at the Reddits, guys. And then we're going to play some and at the end of the day, they're going to say people that aren't, it's going to tank, and then they're going to say people were not ready for it, they're bigots, and it would have done better if people were more open-minded, and it's just, they're just terrible. It's literally just about, like, propaganda and shoving ideological beliefs down everyone's throats, rather than about telling a good story. And by the way, you can have representation and diversity in series, like, for instance, Arcane, and still tell a very good story. Like, they don't need to take the forefront of the series, unless you're trying to make it about the series, which most series are nowadays. They don't need to be specifically about that. They can be there and just be kind of a side thing. Minefield Trap. Let's see. It is pretty funny. But you can do this literally in any doorway. Imagine any place people come out of. Just hitting them into the mines. AMD Reddits, guys. Nothing. It's going to be a couple months until release of the 7000 series graphics cards, and they're actually probably 8000 series graphics cards and 7000 series processors. For some reason, they skipped 2000 now. I don't know why. Just leave. I love that other killers are now body blocking. Made it worse. I don't understand why. I don't even get why she stayed. There's no one left in the trial. She wasn't safely next to the gate. What on earth was she trying to do? She wasn't even trying to teabag. It seems just bad decision process here. Folks, I understand survivors are often toxic and make bad decisions in the process. I just can't fathom. You literally just explained why they did what they did. It was literally bad decision making and doing things to BM. I just can't fathom their specific reason for staying at the exit gate jammed in a little corner like this. Doesn't come across as toxic to me, just strange. Yeah, people are idiots. Surprise! When the game is easy enough, it doesn't mean the person's gonna be smart. I'll get downvoted for that, but that's fine. Oh, that's good. By the way, Survivor is 100% easy mode in Dead by Daylight. You can talk yourself up all you want with your delusion, but maybe solo Survivor can be very difficult. Not even now because of MMR. I'd take that back too. No, Survivor is just easier than playing Killer. That's why there's a waiting line for Killer and not, or for Survivor and not for Killer. First and last game of the night. Hex play thing does not work against premates. Alright guys, let's play some If you guys are curious what that is, it's Dead by Daylight. The official name of Dead by Daylight is True. The developers told me. Just no one can pronounce it except me, so it's only me that does. Okay, let's switch game categories here, guys. Might need to go drop the kids off at the pool. It happens. Okay. Alrighty, guys. Let me see. Might have to hook up my headphones. Make sure my equalizer's doing alright. Okay. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta wash up my coffee cup, and I'm gonna go take a trip to the loo. Alrighty, guys. Oh. You guys have never had a probiotic in your life? You should. It's a fucking miracle. Especially if you have a rough year and you have a lot of antibiotics. They can destroy your gut flora, and your gut flora is responsible for a lot of your digestive, if you guys didn't know about that. If you're missing gut flora, it can make you gain weight, make you feel like shit. You don't always get the right vitamins and minerals, even if you take them. Because you have a symbiotic relationship with the shit in your bowels, your intestines, which is very true. If you didn't know that. Good stuff. Pretty interesting. Gut flora is relatively new, too, as far as an area of study. Alrighty. Playing some Nemi, and we might switch to Legion, depending on how our games go, guys. No liquor tongues, guys. Next mill's gonna go into Nemesis, though. So we can get some BP add-ons, because we play them a lot. So. Take your probiotics, chat. They aren't all created equal, by the way. You have to find one that works for you. TV, are you real? Let's find out. Yes, but they don't stream. Once a month does not count. Check for Vax. Good. Alright, what kind of Monday survivors do we have? Muntus, chess, and party streamers, so probably a sweat squad. Well, I need to slightly adjust the pads on my new glasses, too. Good. Good. And came off for our first game. Ironworks and Misery. Macmillian Estate. Let's go take care of our cuck door. Argen, at least that we saw. One. Barely touched, that's bait. Right, for some reason. No idea what they're doing, guys. This is the same guy from earlier that's trying to get my attention. Another one. Oh, they're there. So they tried to bait me with a rando, and then they had someone else bait. Very weird. Hit hard. The guy on my left. That's the guy from the generator. Let's see. Tapping back. Pretty sure they're all in the back left corner. These guys over there too. We don't have enough time because of deadlock. We don't have enough time to go over and tap it now. Probably a guy on the side of the building over here in the edge. Oh, I didn't see the fucked up Cheryl model. Here's a friend. Hey, Sue. Get these up. Yep. Warps, dead hard. Excuse me, DS. DS, no DS, or they saved it. One of the two. That's the fucked up Cheryl model. Normally I dodge those because people that do shit like that are usually cheating. So normally I dodge this shit. Oh, it got me good. Farming her. Telling me right now, by the way. Pick up aisle 2. HT's up, by the way. She looks like she's getting fast. She might be cheating. She's saving DS. She's going to use it up. We got to get her to vault. Okay. Oh. Got her. She might have even had DS and saved it for her second hook because she's a dumbass. Never save your DS for second hook ever. Never do that. So we're gonna do this because this guy's actually fucking terrible. Chick, guy, whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. It's actually pretty terrible. Instead, we're going to hook him because other chick's trying to get me to loop her, and we don't need to loop her. So. Tried to hide them. Erratic scratch marks, missing scratch marks, and blood pools. Eat his DS now. DS. Probably the Nancy. It's not. Actually, that was Nancy, wasn't it? Not him. We saw a bleed trail, so he's over here. Bleed marks were for sure over here, guys. Saw the blood trail come over here. Would not surprise me if they're cheating, though. I guess he's on the back corner, Jen. Somehow hidden. Once again, that's why you don't go for cutoffs. You go for cutoffs and they do shit like that. You're a dumbass. Small Shiro got across the map, guys. He's dead. He's a dumb shit, too. He's so easy, guys. I just get inside of his model. La 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 la. Get him good. Get him good. Don't worry, guys. He's so easy. And he's dead. No idea why I did that. I'm saving her for last. What's up? Oh. Looks like she vaulted that faster than normal. Good. Fuck with my zombies, AI? Here. This is my first game, too. Pretty sure, as I mentioned before, the Nancy's cheating. That's why we aren't chasing the Nancy. Pick up. So that guy somehow got across in front of me next to the zombies without me actually seeing their aura. Good stuff. Even be in the locker. I should do that. Go, Nancy. He has no problem with skill checks, guys. As I mentioned before, I'm very certain Nancy's cheating. I don't care if it's a bleed out. It doesn't matter to me. Over here. Looks like there's too much progress on this, too. We did not take long to catch her. She's probably going for pickup right now. Yep. Pick up. I think we're gonna go after Nancy. Reason for that? It's because she's doing the gen faster than normal. There's no problems with the skill check. Try left. Yep. Oh, the chick's not as good. Hey, buddy. What's going on over here? Might have Unbreakable, the two. That. Sure why she did that. He's gone. Yeah. Go pick up Nancy. We know she doesn't have Unbreakable. Nancy might be waiting to Unbreakable for 4K. Excuse me, 3K. We're gonna use her up. We say this is the best survival game type for these types of games. This is the only type of game like itself, so. And no, this is a very polarized game. It's very easy for survivors, especially when they play in groups. Price game. Butters. But no, I mean, it's the only one like it. I really hope there's never another game like this, because it's honestly a very difficult thing to do. There's 4v1 games, don't get me wrong, like Evil Dead, Friday the 13th, Prop Hunt, VHS, but none of them are exactly like this. This is not really, yeah, it's not really even a survival game. This is basically like a board game. Where you know everyone's pieces and where they are. And then you have to try and figure out what they're doing. Who was the Nancy? Nancy Wheeler was this guy. Surprise, the guy that doesn't really stream. We have DH, DHBT, secondary meta. We have Adrenaline, Irons. That's it. The players were sus. Yeah, it's not really even a survival game. Also, it's very easy to cheat in this game. And it's very difficult to find people that are cheating in this game. Fortunately. Ah, fun, guys. Fun, fun, fun. Yeah, we're gonna dodge. We have a Chinese player on a private account. Next game. Yeah. So yeah, it's really hard to quantify what Dead by Daylight is, because this might look like a Monster vs. Survivors thing, and it's not really. The way this game is played has nothing to do with, well, I mean, somewhat cat and mouse, but most of the time it's not. When it comes down to chases and how you actually deal with Survivor, it's a very different game than what you'd expect. Yeah, Evil Dead. So, I mentioned this before, but I really hope there's more games like Evil Dead. Evil Dead is not your traditional 4v1 like this. In a normal 4v, or in Dead by Daylight 4v1, supposedly the killer has all the power, right? And the survivors try to hide from him, whatever. And it's not the way that works. Survivors definitely have more power than killer does in this game. But in this game, the killer's generally stronger than survivors are, right? And you have to eliminate the survivors to whittle it down so they can't escape. In the case of Evil Dead, the survivors are generally stronger than the killer because the killer spawns a bunch of mobs, right? It's like more of an RTS. However, you can take control of not only the other survivors but also, you know, a boss. You can play as a boss. But for the most part, it very much has RTS elements to it. It's not specifically just about 1v1s and shit like that, right? It's about the macro of the game, the RTS aspect of the game, which I think is really fucking cool. I really hope there's more games like that. VHS is basically like a shitty version of Evolve, in my opinion. Evolve was also another very interesting game, but once again, just like in this game, Survivors and Evolve could really shit on the killers, except for there's a couple of killers that it didn't apply to, but they eventually nerfed them. One of which was the Kraken, if I remember right, was one of the last ones that people could actually play and do well as. But basically, if you're in a Swift on voice comms, you can just shit all over the killer. Or the monster. Yeah. There's a lot of really different kind of games. They aren't really all the same, and that's something I'm all for. I'm all for video game development. Video game development, in my opinion, has a lot of different things that they can try and do. And when games go outside of the ordinary, that's a good thing, right? Not that 4v1s or asymmetrical game is new. We've talked about them before. Probably one of the earliest ones I know of was Giant Citizen Kabuto, which is from the 90s, which was water elves versus dwarfs versus monster. It was a 1v1v1, but the monster basically represented a kind of like a chaos factor in the match, but they still had to fight for resources and game balance. It's a very interesting game if you ever guys are curious to go look at it, and there hasn't really been anything else like that in recent years, because everything tries to copy each other because that's how they make money, right? They've rationalized it to some big billionaire game investor that can actually, you know, give them money to start a game studio, and you can't really talk about non-existent games, right? Unless you're an established developer that everyone like jerks off to. Like, you can't just go out on a limb and talk about something that you want to do, and most of the time people won't actually know. Yeah. The Death by Daylight killer has to manage 4 malicious robots. It's daycare. If you're playing a killer in this game, it's not just in terms of what they do in the game, but how they act. This is literally fucking daycare if you play killer. You are literally taking care of spoiled and entitled kids for the most part. And not talking about age, but rather how they act. It is pretty terrible. As a killer, that is. If you're a survivor, you know, you can hang out and chill and then just basically shit-talk the killer the entire game. If you're playing Survivor, you're very much playing easy mode in this game. That's why there's a waiting line for 4 of the one. I love pointing this out, how there's a 10-minute wait for 4 of these guys instead of this guy here. Whereas Evil Dead, when it came out, had a waiting line for this one guy, right? People wanted to play the monster. I don't know if that's still true, but at launch, it's a stark contrast. Let's go break your cuck doors. This game has all sorts of small little nuances and elements to it. It's a lot like a board game. I know it may not seem that way because it's not a board game, right? But based on the perks and stuff you have to work around, the mechanics you have to work around this game, it feels very much like a board game. That bait. It's bait. Over on the platform. Oh. Hey, buddy. Very weird. Okay. Not exactly sure why you're doing that. Calm Spirit? Very weird. That's an incredibly rare perk, by the way. Okay. This is a bad idea. Gotta break this. Normally there's a walkway over here. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. Upstairs. If I went around the side of the building, we actually would have cut her off. But if people are wall hacking or their friends are on comms and notify them where you are, they just immediately tell them and then they'll just go around the other direction, which is why you can't go for cutoffs. Why I double backed, even though it was a huge waste of time. These two. Thought she would have waited to be smart. Nope. She had a dead hard still, we'll bait it. Calm Spirit. We're gonna go back corner. Got it. Okay. Surprise! They popped the gen immediately when I got a hook, so I can't tap the gen for some reason. That happens a lot. It's kind of weird, actually. Like I said, that's kind of turned into a trend at this point. That's a bad deadlock. We've talked about that before. Guy coming. Nope. Yeah. Going over there, my dude. That's bait. We're gonna wait for phase 2. Hey, Steve. He's up. Yes, now. If she has it. There it is. Reason not getting in chase with her. Alright. Get her out of here. Nice. That's beautiful. Oh, if she was actually on time, that would have hit her, by the way. This is the guy that interrupted me earlier. I expected her to actually be good. The fuck is that? Hey guys. Got it. She's probably gonna unhook right now. She did not. She should have. Careful. Push him zombie side. Okay. Gonna tap for me? You should. Gonna leave? Yeah, they're going to do gens now. Might need to reset one of the zombies. The chick's back here on the gen. No. Tapping back. Steve might unhook right now, though. It's unfortunate. Oop. Naked. She's popped the gen. We'll get him to tap. Good one for Steve. We could actually just leave her on the ground and go for someone else, too. Did they redesign this area at some point? I'm not exactly sure when they did this. This is really obnoxious, though. Pick up. Hey, buddy. We'll multi-tunnel now. Should be able to hit this even. Well, it doesn't matter if they take a protection. It'll hook whoever takes a protection hit. Hey, buddy. Good old strategic hooks, guys. Lovely. Buddy. Just healed. No. Better. Wait for phase 2 on her too. Oh, you're doing that. And you're dead. Ah, we didn't actually stomp the totem, by the way, that went with the Nancy. Steve generally doesn't have any problems with skill checks. I'm pretty sure that's bait. Not hard to catch. Very difficult to see survivors in this map. Because of the shit. So we might have to take a chase on Steve anyways, just because it's very easy to play stealth in this map. Yeah, he's trying to take chase again. I don't know why he's over here. Oh, she might be on the other side of the map now. Yeah. Oh, to go down in a corner, Steven? Really? Okay. She's probably on the gen across the map. He is. They exchange spots with each other. Might have Unbreakable too. Huh? Live? Is the palace still here? I don't remember. Yes, it is. That was a mistake. Not sure what she was doing. Okay. Oh, I forgot she was Death Hook. Well, we aren't picking Steven up. VHS survived for a while because free to play. I mean, Prop Home was free to play. Free to play does not make stuff fun, and people I think overestimate how fun free to play is. Like I would not actually. I wouldn't play a game just because it's free. It has to be fun. I'll pay for stuff that's fun because it's entertainment. Buddy. You might have flip-flop, but it doesn't matter because the hook's so close. So something that happens, guys, if they have flip-flop power struggle at the end of the game like that, is they'll crawl out from it to make the game go faster. When it's back, they still have flip-flop going for them. So if you're not close to a hook, you can actually drop them. Because he saw I was looking for hatch rather than actually going for him. So. But the hook was right there and it didn't matter. We've seen baits like that before. We have BTDH, BTDS. Secondary meta. The one guy with the DS is the guy I tunneled. That's hilarious. Secondary meta. That was my primary tunnel, excuse me. We have... Boons. That's it. Calm Spirit, very rare perk. Very rare perk. But it's a direct counter to some things in the game, such as Spies and Doctor. Some killers will make you scream, and it stops that. Roughly 7 heals, 1 escape, which was the DS. Good. But yeah, we've talked about that before. Like, if they add aliens to this game, guys, you know how unfun it's probably going to be? If they add aliens. Just like with Predator. Is because certain killers actually project a certain level of intensity to them. Imagine an alien that can't actually down people, right? Yeah. Or Predator, you know, Predator or aliens in the series are visceral, and they tend to just completely rip people apart. And if you put them into a video game where people have health states, you don't really do that anymore, do you? Fortunately. That's why I'd love to have Predator in this game, but... yeah, imagine what that's going to be like. Kind of lackluster when you have someone that literally rips people's spines out, and you can't do that. Oh, maybe you could as a Mori, but Like it's not something that just normally happens. Maybe we'll play some Legion tonight. We'll see. We will see, guys. We will see. Guys, we will see, chat. We will see. There we go. I had to say chat more. When talking to you, chat, I need to say chat instead of guys or people. Right, chat? Yeah, chat, you're fantastic tonight. Hope you know that. You guys are amazing. You're amazing, chat. There we go. By the way, does the mic have kind of like a hiss to it or a rough? I don't think so. I'm gonna watch the video afterwards. RPD. It kind of like a, I don't even know what to call, a nasty kind of vibrance to it when I was listening to it yesterday. I think it was the gain. My gain might still be too high though. I have to wait and see after the fact. RPD. That was a really weird sound for some reason. There it goes. Alright. We're just gonna have to chase whoever we find, because very good chance we'll just lose them. Library. So it's probably a totem. Yeah, I think I hear someone blessing them, and no, it's in the office down here. Hey, buddy. No, they want that totem. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hook. I think that's in the library, isn't it? We're gonna drop her anyway, so there's no point. Not very hard to catch those so far. And outside. Okay. Do we have kill dungeon here? Wouldn't be so kind, would it? Very fast, Jen, considering we had one guy following us around and we had the upstairs. Unfortunately, we have no hits on anyone. That's not good. Buddy. Yeah. Huh? Nope. No. Wasn't a styptic. That was a full heal. DS now. Yes. Yeah. Butt squad, guys. Got a phase 2 whip though, which is what we really needed. Oh wait, what? That was a juicy hit. Okay. Hey guys. Why the fuck are you so fast? Oh, she dodged. Other guy's in position somewhere, I don't know where though. Eat it. But it's probably here on the right. No. That guy pulled through my model, by the way. I think it's the other guy, the guy we punched, actually pulled through my model. On the outside edge, it wasn't Claudette. Claudette showed up late. Ah. Can't reach that one. We'll rotate hooks. We're gonna go back hook. We're gonna unhook front, that's fine. So we have 3 gen here still. Not sure what these guys are doing. They're trying to play big, but none of them are very good. If they want to leave them to die on the hook for hatched, they can. That would be pretty hilarious. Go. Oh my fucking god, zombie. Time to die, Meg. Guy above me. Ooh. Thought maybe you could whip over the top of that. I don't think you can. Erratic scratch marks. Erratic scratch marks. Huh. Unless the zombie's broken, because... Alright, well. Good. Alrighty. She might, if we want to be sweatier, we bleed out for hatch right now. Here, can we do that? Now we wait. So what happens in this case is we know where Claudette is. We aren't going to know where this other slug is. So instead we, oh my god. Okay, well. Now we can't. Now we have to wait for 60 seconds. We might as well just bleed out for hatch anyways. I think we're going to do that. It's going to take 60 seconds and that guy's going to have maybe 20 left. Dr. Pepper's fucking amazing, guys. Love Dr. Pepper. Mountain Dew is also very good. Just having like a cold Dr. Pepper some days is so tasty, especially cherry Dr. Pepper. Very certain this guy doesn't have flip-flop. He might though. Now we could bleed them both out, it doesn't matter to me. Okay. Enjoy your 3 minutes of bleed time while your friends watch. It is. We know where she is. Do I want to close it? Oh my. Downstairs or upstairs? Did. What a nice guy. Thanks, buddy. These guys brought me here, and they're obviously trying to boon at the beginning of the match, in case you guys missed that. They had one guy body blocking for the other guy so they could get a boon down, which they never got down, by the way. There's? No, it is. And done. Good, 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 good. No flip-flop power. Oh! That was on the other guy. So there was a power struggle in here. But no, not on the guy that we bled out. We have BT, DSDH, BT. Secondary meta, we have irons. Flip-flop power struggle, but that's not really meta. Adrenaline. Boons? Booners? They never even got their boons down. Took us to RPD and did not get their booners out. Very sweaty squad, by the way. This guy did have flip-flop power struggle, but this is the guy that bled out. That's not the guy we hooked. This is the Claudette we hooked at the end of the match. Good. Good, good, good. Booners. Do I want to play Legion and have the chance that we play against a shit squad? Not really. I do love playing Nemesis. I'm gonna go take a piss, guys. Not really. Kinda do, but kinda don't. Back. Alrighty. I guess we'll play Legion. Oh, we gotta dump our points first. Which we're gonna dump on Nemesis here. Let's see. What was I doing? I think I just got an eyeball. If we can push it down here, that'd be good. They go down there. Okay. Alrighty. We're looking for eyeballs, ink ribbons, black hands, tentacles, and then brains or intestines, I guess. Is there anywhere we want to push it? Not really. Everything kind of sucks here, so. Good. And we got party streamers, ink ribbon, black hand. We really want that. Grab that right away. So it doesn't jump. Yeah. Nothing. Ready. They could take the expensive stuff. Ink ribbon, no black hand. No tentacles. We use the tentacle a lot, guys, and it is very uncommon now for some reason. I don't know why. We get all this other garbage that's green, but we don't get tentacle. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful as well. Okay, black hand. Ooh, multiple black hands. Starting down there, so we have to go up for this thing. I do really want this. We're gonna go here. Good. We're gonna lose a liquor tongue, but that's gonna happen. Pretty good. Got most everything I wanted. And Black Hand, Party Streamers. Most everything here is interconnected. If we can get it to push here, this would be a pretty good close. These are all interconnected too. Okay, beautiful. Okay, good. 2 Black Hands, Ink Ribbon, possible. Party Streamer or Liquor Tongue. Obviously gonna grab those immediately. Grab our Ink Ribbon. Check for a Liquor Tongue. Got one. Hollow Shell. Deep shit. Hey Raul, how's your day going, dude? Dudinsky? Two ribbons, an eyeball. Most everything else is garbage. Like, there's no way for it to close, too. We'll just buy up the cheap shit. Okay. Potential Black Hand. We're going to go for that. Liquor Tongue, some pudding. Garbage. Hollow Shell. Lots of trash, guys. There we go. I missed the brown. We have Ink Ribbon, Black Hand. Tongue. This first. Okay. If we could get it to come over here, that'd be good. It's just gonna come down here. There we go. Push it again. Push it again. There we go. Not exactly the way I wanted it, but still pretty good. Liquor Tongue. That's it. Box. Potential eyeball. Alright. If we could get a... Oh. Well, this normally would close this entire thing, but basically 32,000. You could actually figure out the cost here if it goes over here and then closes off 3 of these. It's not 32,000, so the most you can get with party streamers or pudding is 32,000, right? So effectively, this has, like, what? 16,000 picking this one here has a cost of 16,000 because it goes here, here, and then jumps here. I'll close off these spots, which will cost me 16,000 BP that I'll now have to spend. Because it'll have to go here, 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 and then I'll close that one off. So maybe, if we're lucky, I'll close off that side. Round robin now. Pretty big waste. Probably should have popped that other side so it couldn't go over there. Yeah, liquor tongue. Liquor tongue. Box, black hand, nope. Oh, we did get an ink ribbon, that's good. All this, like, what, did they do this? Like, do they watch my stream and then did shit like this? It looks like everything now is, like, interconnected, so you can't actually manipulate the entity as well. I swear to fucking God, they've changed the blood web, so it's just, like, a bunch of garbage connected together now. Before, you used to be able to manipulate which legs it was going to and stuff like that, and now it's just, look at it. It's all almost interconnected with each other. Eyeball. Possible eyeball. Eyeball. I had to grab that right away, otherwise the entity's going to eat it. Let's get the ink ribbon. Want to go outside first, guys. Okay. Push it that way. Like that. There we go. We have a hollow shell, possible eyeball. In order to get that possible eyeball, though, this is a huge segment. I don't think we're going to go for this, because this could be RNG heavy. So we're going to try and push it over there. Up this one also, but there's a hollow shell here that I kind of want. I don't think it's worth it. Well, depends on where it goes. We're going to push it right away and see where it hops to. Either of these are actually pretty good. Ideally want it to go top, so let's go this way. Fuck you, bitch, get out of here. Nope. Yep. There we go. It's not gonna close, though. Oh, it did! Normally with, like, that left over, it'll hop. So if there's only one option left, it won't close area. That's a huge win. Eyeball, liquor tongue, eyeball. Brains? Ink ribbon. Possible eyeball. If we can get it to eat this side, that'd be good. Let's see. Didn't. That's just eating cheap shit now. Fuck off. Not working for me, you bitch. Get the fuck out of here. Pudding! Potential. Pudding, eyeball. Liquor tongue. There's an ink ribbon. Because we need to go over here anyways, we're going to grab this. Eyeball, that's good. Get our ink ribbon. This is actually pretty good. If we can get it to hop here, it'll close this entire side off. That. Big wins, guys. Big wins. Look at that. It's a lot of BP right there. The best add-on, by the way, for Killer, or offering for Killer right there, if you want to save BP, is straight up the Black Ward. It doesn't matter. As long as you have some somewhat in-demand items that you can't find the blood web easily, it doesn't matter what color they are, by the way. Black Ward is straight up the best BP. Because some items, for instance, do not fall on each blood web. It doesn't matter what rarity they are. Sometimes it won't be in multiple blood webs. Statistically, it won't be in multiple blood webs because they try to BP tax killers, so you have to spend more time playing the game. So, for instance, the Green Memorial for Shape is incredibly rare. It's maybe 1 in every 3 or 4 blood webs, which means each blood web's worth about 50 to 60,000 BP. That means that add-on is worth about 150 to 200,000 BP. It's a lot of fucking BP. But a Black Ward is free space. You always want to pick up the Black Ward. This is a higher value, in my opinion, than party streamers are putting in terms of value to you as a killer, if you want to save BP. And if you're a killer, you're always going to be taxed for BP. You're never going to have enough BP. 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 I think we want to push it over here. There's a potential party streamer or a liquor tongue. Good. Good. That's what we wanted, guys. And we're out of BP. Black Ward, eyeball. Potential Black Ward or ink ribbon. Putting. Alrighty, guys. I did say we were going to play some Legion, so. Oh. We're out of... Oh, maybe I'm supposed to put some points into Legion. I thought we did recently with the double XP. I guess we burned through the add-ons already? That sucks. There's only one way to play Legion, by the way. We still have a pudding left on them, too. But we don't have enough iridescent shards. Which is the way that he's built right now. You can change out Deadlock, though, if you want to. This is the anti-pallet build, guys. So you can basically challenge... So you can challenge basically every pallet, and then you save your prorate your power. Break pallets easily. Party streamers, guys. Good. Alrighty. Good, good, good. Well, purgation, guys. Righty. This is actually a pretty popular map for Legion for whatever reason. I'm not exactly sure why. We get sent here a lot on Legion, even though we weren't sent here. Were we? No. Not sure why. Until I left. This is right where I spawned, by the way. That hard? Yeah. There was a guy in Kill Shack. I didn't see him right away, though. Alright. Let's go to the back of Kill Shack here. So we have a ward right here. Tap this. That's what she was doing in Kill Shack, by the way. 14 seconds. Buddy, would you like to unhook him right away? Yeah? No? Okay. Tap and mark. The reason I did that instead of my power is in case she ran to the hook immediately, I'd have to unpower and then I'd get a free unhook. Whereas instead all I have to do is walk over there. Because there's a delay after you unpower. Like fucking calling for like a spaceship or something. What the fuck's going on here? Ready for phase 2? Okay. Hey, buddy. Okay. Well, it's her turn. You definitely made me depower. Good for you. Bamboozle? Relatively good. I don't think we've had any major cheaters yet. Just gotta crack it. One of the reasons you have to prorate your power, by the way, is because of shit like this. If you don't, it costs you a lot of time. He's already injured. That hard now. Nope. We're doing gens relatively fast despite the fact there's people fucking around with me. And they aren't very good. No hook. Oh, there's one on the rim right there. We might drop her. Luckily, she didn't come over to help. If she came over to help, we 100% would have dropped her after taking a protection hit. 14 seconds. But yeah, we're playing Legion right now because the games aren't super intense tonight. Weekend games are incredible. Incredibly intense and people cheating on top of it. She has to bandage. I remember one of the last games we played as Legion, and one of the guys had a 2-minute mend. Yeah, like we went back through the playback, and from the time he left chase with me to when he went down because of it was 2 minutes. It was ridiculous. Yeah, I mean if they're going better, we'd be on shape right now. I still need to tidy up my shape so we can play him at high MMR. It's a pretty relatively lax game. Here, let me tap this for you. Give me a second. Thank you. I do miss overcharge, though. Hey, buddy. What's going on over here? Oh, my God. Dead hard. What is that? His Spear Fury's up. If I'm doing alright as a mouse one, this is a very, very particular build which we haven't actually needed to use right now. It's going alright though. Doing a totem somewhere? Healed. I guess she's at Kill Shack. Heal like that, that usually means they're playing for hatch. Back and check the gen. Pick up. She's probably over there on the side instead. Pressing. Go grab her again. I don't even know if we'll make this, actually. Got me good. Hey, buddy. Nice dead hard. Doing great. That guy has to mend, and he might even be sitting in place mending right now. Which is usually what they do when they get hit by Legion. Mended. Means she couldn't have gone that far. I wish when they mended it, give them Killer Instinct. I think that'd be a nice touch for Legion. Legion still needs quite a bit of help. Like, if they want to do the chain hits, which is what kind of Legion's known for. Maybe pick up now? He needs to go a lot faster between hits. Like, triple the speed bonus compared to what it is right now, so he's zooming. Is. If we push too hard, though, she's not going to come for rescue, and we want her to come for rescue. Main building. I fucking hate that case opening thing. There's so much shit, guys, that are, like, broken with Killer, and, like, BHFR just doesn't give a shit. That thing's been in the game since, like, Nemesis was added, like, 9 months ago. Oh, there she is. Buddy. Alright, scratch marks. I believe she's gonna make that. No. Oh. She doesn't have dead hard, so. Oh. Oh, what a nice guy. And she's crawling to the corner. We have this hook here. This is a very deceptive burial mound. I hate shit like this. Once again, stuff that BHFR does the fucking does the killers to nerf them. So from the side here, normally this hook points at the entrance to the burial mound, but because of where it's located, sometimes it's not even like this. So it's pointing at the corner, and it could be one of two directions, but also sometimes it just does something completely random where it comes up here on the side. It used to be these hooks would always be on the side, pointed at the entrance to the burial mound. They've changed that, so now you can't even suss out whether or not this is pointed the right direction, because BHFR wants you to drop a survivor, and which is very hurtful to killers. Shit like this is fucking obnoxious as fuck. We're gonna wait. I don't care if she bleeds out. That's just the way it is. We're gonna wait for Deliverance and 4%. So. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty rough, isn't it? Good. Yeah, and it really, really sucks when you go for burial mounds. That's why sometimes they'll try and do more confirmation before going for one. Like, I picked up a survivor, like, literally almost right next to that thing, and I didn't go for it because you don't know which direction it's pointing. And that could be the difference between you making it and you losing a shit. It takes, like, an extra 8 seconds to go around those things if you're on the wrong side. It's a lot of fucking time wasted. We have DH, BT, secondary meta, boons, booners, lots of boons, built to last with a toolbox, irons, adrenaline, prove thyself. Swift where? I don't know. Ew, maybe the other 3 people that weren't. I do like the omnipotent survivors, though. Apparently this guy knows that no one else is in a Swift, so. Yeah, once you get fucked by a burial mound like that, guys, it's not, yeah, not quite kosher. No, you're like, what the fuck's going on here, man? Sometimes, like, you like, oh, there's a burial mound. It used to be like they'd always point towards the entrance to it, and they don't do that anymore. Why would they do that? Why would they give you a cue as a killer as to where you should go? Yeah, unfortunately, we, I'm actually out of add-ons on Legion. We have 15 more black hands, and then we're out. Did spend a shitload of points on other killers. Poor man. Poor man, we'll play it. I haven't felt like I need to dodge him. It's kind of weird, though, when I start playing Legion, usually we get, like, one good game in, and then we just run into a boatload of cheaters and sweats. You know. We'll wait and see, guys. We'll wait and see, chat. I gotta use chat more. We'll wait and see, chat. Prompt the entirety of chat. Guys flows better off the tongue than chat. Miss Darkner and Strode. Yeah. Hi, chat. Next game. Sus to begin with, and then they threw Strode into it. We did have... Maybe that would have been worth playing, because we did have Bamboozle. Oh, by the way, Mom turned on the microwave and crashed my game. Oh, no! Oh, no! I hate when Mom does that. Yeah, so Legion might have actually been a best case scenario for Strode. Strode, the new Haddonfield is actually worse than the old Haddonfield. You wouldn't think that's possible, but it is. They added way too many windows that are really, really easy just to run around. And as a killer, there's nothing you can do about them except just basically watch them run them until they close. And that's pretty fucking obnoxious. Any window that you have to run 3 times to close it is a huge, 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 huge time sink. Like Shaq, you don't need to do that most of the time. Depending on what killer you're playing. It's a fucking TT. Oh, I don't have my screen up either. Oh, that makes that easy. Yeah, New Haddonfield sucks dick, guys. It is pretty fucking terrible. Way, way, way too many easy to run windows. Not too many pallets, but windows are, like, you can't crush a pallet, you can't mind game a window. Depending on where it is, most of the time it's just an exit to a house, and you can't easily go around it. They're fucking TTV. What the fuck is this shit? Free man. Pretty sure. Next game. Cool. Days. Mm-hmm. Meme gamers usually are people that cheat. I know that sounds crazy, but when they have meme or highly crass names, go with this. Unless we get a Haddonfield offering again. Miss Darkner and a Black Hand. For some reason, they're nowheres, but I guess we'll go with it for now. God, guys. Oh my god, chat. There we go. I could literally replace guys with chat every time I say it. Alright. I'm sure this will be a perfectly normal game based on the add-ons we just saw, the offerings. Great chat. I say guys a lot, there's a guy on top right. Did good, my dude. Did fucking good. It's a fake. Oh, we do have it. Okay. Excuse you, game. I'm getting stuck on fucking everything. I think there's a guy down here. Let's check our box. Box is closed. I was very confident about the gen, though. Nothing. Gen is over there. Hi. There's the rescue. And the side. Really? Okay. Wait for her friend to show up. She just walked through my model. She wasted 4%. Yep, got him. Yep. Beat these up. Here. Sprint burst. That was a pull. Fuck the. Not sure how this went. She's dead, by the way. She just wasted her DS. So. Not sure why she did that. Also not sure how they got to that gen. Heals. Nothing. Buddy. Oh my fucking god, guys. That's very unfortunate. Huh. Now it's a normal chase 2 on top of it. We just wasted a bunch of time. I don't know why you dead hard that. Broken already. Problem with being a mouse one killer, guys, especially in sus lobbies, is shit like this. Yeah. A huge waste of time. Game's basically done at this point too. That's hugely unfortunate. They're on the gen right there too. It's about to pop. Good stuff. That's the first guy? Didn't we hook one of the guys? Did we hook the other guy? The ace? In the corner. Not touched. Gotta push. Huge mistake on his part. Dead hard. They're working separate gens, though. Now we hooked the Fang. The Fang's been hiding, though. We did hook him. Probably I went to the same gen, too. Where's the Fang? Not sure why they're doing all the gens. They're definitely on comms together. This is a pre-made. On. Gonna pick him up immediately for a DS. And we on the exit little gate already. No DS. Get rid of him. That was a huge mistake, guys. Very, very unfortunate. They just healed. I mean, the gate's already 99. Oh. There he is. Where's the Fang? Might have been waiting at the handle, actually. And just let him die? That'd be really weird. Killed. Now they're on handle. Gotta go after one of them anyways, it doesn't matter. He's going for handle. Knows where all the assets are left. Prize. She's going to show up now for protection. He knows exactly where all the assets are. 100% cheating. We're going to have to push him to drop. He's going to pre-drop. There she is. He's trying to get him to come over to her. He's going to do the same thing. Their handle's not primed. Literally going through all the pallets right now. Uses Dead Hard already, if I recall. Oh. Gonna push her. He might even have, takes fucking forever for some reason. This might actually be, exponential. Unbelievable. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Oh my fucking god. Oh. You went the wrong way. The hatch literally spawned him where he dropped to the ground, by the way. Yeah. Unfucking believable. White's for sure cheating. Ridiculous game. It's because I fucked up the ace and the Dwight. Hooked the guy in the suit. Yeah, that guy. No, the ace guy was the guy that we hooked once. That was Dwight, and we didn't hook him at all. I went after the wrong guy. Fang, I know we hooked. Stuff. Mm-hmm. Who has the 18,000 points? Oh, that's one of them. And then Fang. Did he have windows? Or he did have windows. That could be partly responsible. But he went across the map to different locations that... Like, Windows has a range of 32 meters, if you guys don't know that. Pretty sure, unless they change that. It's not map-wide. Yeah. And he was going to stuff that was well outside 32 meters. 32 meters is the terror radius of the killer, if you guys are curious for a comparison. Routes. Good show at the end of the match, though. Feels like they're fucking with things, though. There's a -5. Or, excuse me, 5 injuries. Roughly. Tough to deal with, guys. When you're playing a mouse one killer against cheaters, it is very, very difficult to deal with that shit. That was definitely a 4-man or 3-man, one of the two. Yeah, I lost track of, because there's too many people we hooked in the KD, I lost track of who we else already hooked after the first guy died. I don't know why the first guy came back and killed himself, but he did. Next game. Oh, first cheat lobby of the night. I'd say the Fang was cheating too, but we weren't in chases with her at all. One of the reasons I don't like playing Legion is because of shit like that. There's almost no way of dealing with that besides just trying to brute force it. That guy knew I had Spirit Fury, which is why he literally pre-dropped every single fucking pallet. And that comes down to, like, zoning. Like, at the end there is basically a bunch of zoning, making sure I was on the right side so he couldn't actually get a speed boost or get have time to go to the exit after Feng takes a protection hit. But he ended up on the other side of the map, and even if she took a protection hit, that probably would have led to both of them going down. Bunch of offerings. But yeah, it would have definitely wasted a hook in there. Would have went better if I remembered who I tunneled. I know I tunneled Feng, or not tunneled, I hooked. Basically wasted a chase on a guy that wasn't hooked at all. Wrecker's Yard. Despite these guys all being... That's fucking weird. Just someone just DC'd. Yeah. Despite these guys all being council, that loaded incredibly fast. Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm ready. Jen's last match went very, very fast, despite those guys fucking around with me the entire match, too. Another reason is Chilavi. I'm pretty sure Feng was. Usually, once again, you can suss it out based on their score, but we had a lot of round robins at the end of the match in terms of hook trading. Very fast gens. Yeah. So even though he had windows, he was going to those corner jungle gyms that had pallets still up in them. Or outside the radius of windows. The dog. Go break a cuck doors. Why are there 4 Fengs? I don't remember there being 4 Fengs in the lobby. Did y'all quick switch when I wasn't looking? We may have a cheat lobby, guys, and we're getting stream sniped right now. Okay. Not sure why I did that. You should have went window. She just fucked the pooch. Of doing platform gen right away, so that's good. I thought that was actually a person based on where the scratch marks were. Kind of weird. That one blew. How would you do that? Nose? Okay. DS now. Guy up top, or was a guy up top. They all, by the way, came at exactly the same. Well, it's kind of weird because they weren't in the same lobby together, but every single one of those guys showed up at the hook at exactly the same moment to unhook. Very fucking weird. Pretty sure she's gonna come up behind me and tap as a distraction. Auto dead hard. Got her. That is beautiful. That was an auto dead hard, by the way. Where she went in, and it looked like she dead harded into the hook, and then she didn't, and then dead harded again. Like, her dead hard should have been going to the hook, and she didn't. This is when I short swung at her. It was a dead hard out of the hook. Probably on a gen, but it feels like she's still here somewhere, too. On that. Double back and wait for phase 2. If I leave now, she's going to get unhooked, but we're already halfway through phase 1, so. Other guy. This guy's unbreakable. That's why he just crawled over to the hook and sat there. Oh my god. Do we have a kill dungeon? I don't know if we do. Ooh. Got it. Wait for a 4% deliverance. Alrighty. Hey, buddy. Okay. Let's see if that Fang... Which Fang was it? His bottom Fang. What? She just got off the hook. What? She just got off the hook in phase 2, right? Eh? What the fuck is that? No, I think I just played that wrong. Sitting there talking to myself, and I'm pretty sure she had full hook states, and she just... There's a reason you sit around the hooks for deliverance and 4%, guys. I forgot about that. I thought she was on her death hook. Okay. I gotta wait for our DSs. And Unbreakable. This guy, I'm pretty sure, is the one with Unbreakable once again. I should have played more with her before knocking her down. I can't believe that. Fucking told you guys. Told you guys she had DS. I can't believe I didn't fucking sit down there. For some reason I thought she was missing a hook state or she was dead. She wasn't. Unfucking believable. I don't even know. This is the one that 4% is a dress. It was a dress chick, so she did have Unbreakable. Yeah. I just left. I just fucking left that shit. I don't know why I did that. It's completely derped out on that one, guys. Normally I always wait for 4% deliverance, and I didn't. Unbelievable. We have DH, DHDSBT, there's the Trinity, DH, secondary meta, Irons, Adrenaline, Built to last with a giant toolbox. Yep. Unbreakable. Thanks. That guy did have unbreakable. And the dress was a distraction. Yeah, learn to play 4K bad, guys. 4K fucking bad. It's a meme. That should be that's gonna be the name of my title tomorrow. Is 4K bad. 4K bad. Fucking left the hook, guys, and just it's like clockwork. There's a reason I don't leave hooks. I know I do it all the time. Like I'll sit by the hook and I tell you guys about it, but you don't really figure that out. It doesn't really drive home until you see me leave the hook with two people on it, and one person immediately unhooks themselves without deliverance, immediately unhooks themselves, and then unhooks the other guy. Yeah. Do any of those guys even have DS? No, he did have DS. This is the Unbreakable guy had DS. Yeah. 4K bad. Okay. Alrighty, guys, I think we're going to wrap things up here tonight. Another short stream tonight, but that's the way that it goes. Have stuff going on in real life, etc., etc. Yeah. But hopefully tomorrow I'll be on earlier, but I always say that. And hopefully we'll actually stream a normal amount of time. I actually have to dump points into Legion, apparently. Did not know I was down to my last button. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. But I need to get on earlier. I'm out here for this evening, guys. Tomorrow will be more Dead by Daylight. If you're new to the stream and you enjoyed things, you enjoyed the bullshit, you enjoyed the fun, you enjoyed the cheaters, and the BM, make sure to follow button in the top right-hand corner. I usually stream every day from evening to late night, GMT-6. So 8 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time to 1 to 2 a.m. Give or take, depends what's going on in my life, what's happening, etc., etc. Tomorrow will be the dibs, though, and hopefully we'll be playing more Legion. We did have one really shitty game as Legion where we clearly had cheaters to deal with, but other than that, our games are pretty alright. We do need to play Shape more. I need to work up the courage to play Shape. Shape is very, very much power spiky, and you have to control that power, and if you don't, you just get shit on. And I did spend some points for add-ons with the last double BP. So, I think I have some, I have plenty of Blackboards, too. We just need to play more. Especially the way that I've been playing them with Coup de Grace. Yeah, I haven't played Tubestone yet, but that's on the docket as well. I don't think a lot of people say Myers is bad. A lot of people don't know that Myers actually has a built-in window vault bonus, not sprint, window vault bonus class, whereas other killers do not have anything like that. Well, don't normally. So even though he's a mouse one killer, and very much purely so, he does have a little bit of helping hand built into his powers. Spirit Fury, like, you can't even run Spirit Fury alone. You have to run it with Enduring. Because the moment they know that you have Spirit Fury, they'll just start pre-dropping shit on you. And then you'll get almost no value out of it. Like that one game, well, we didn't even play against that guy, and he definitely knew that we had Spirit Fury and just pre-dropped everything. Like, Spirit Fury alone does not work. You need Enduring. Even if they drop it on you and you get hit with it, if you don't have Enduring, you won't be able to actually make up the distance. Yeah. I do miss Noed on Legion as well. Really seems like Mouse 1 killers you really need Noed, but you can't play Legion without those 3 add-ons, and just adding replacing Deadlock with Noed is not going to work for us. Because if they get to that point, basically game's over. Noed's a great closer, but you need Deadlock to slow down the gens. And it gives you information, too. Really sucks. You really need all 3 of these. You could potentially change out Spirit Fury and Deadlock, but if you already have Enduring, you should definitely probably use Spirit Fury. You need Bamboozle on this guy too, where they just vault windows continually. There's 2 add-ons you can change, and with Enduring, I don't know why you change Spirit Fury, especially with this build where you challenge pallets all the time. They're going to drop them. No, it just makes sense. It just leaves Deadlock at that point. Unfortunately. Alrighty, guys. Myers is weak against pallets. Yeah, that's why we have coup de grace to make surgical... I used to run coup de grace all the time. You've watched that. I used to run coup de grace for like 4 months on Nemesis. I ran that for a long time. It can definitely make up for the fact that you have loops and you need to on the side of them, but if they're cheating, it makes that even more difficult. And he has further lunge distance, even on top of that. He has longer lunge distance with his Tier 2 and Tier 3 to begin with. I think, no, Tier 2 is normal. Tier 3 has larger lunge distance. Adds on top of coup de grace. It's either multiplicative or additive. I don't know which it is. Why we're running that. Also why we have Brutal Strength. But Brutal Strength, I don't know. No, I think we just need Brutal Strength. It would be nice to say that we don't need that. I need to play around with the killer and play around with Bloodlust more. Like maybe play Trapper or something because he sucks dick. And then just have like games where I try to practice with Bloodlust. To see how often it triggers, if I can game it, and then distance gains with it. Which is something I generally don't practice Bloodlust at all, because if the pallet is something I can work around, then I won't break it, but if it isn't something I'll work around, I'll break it right away. And then you don't get Bloodlust. Yeah, Trapper, fucking terrible. Oh my god. Yeah, so, and if you break a pallet, you swing or you break a pallet, you lose Bloodlust. You use a power or break a pallet. Maybe swinging doesn't even count unless you hit someone. You lose Bloodlust. Hey, we'll play it with Predator. This is Predator. No, it's Bloodhound. So that when I Bloodlust, I become undetectable. Ah, that's so amazing. Have Predator? There it is. No, it's not Predator. There's a perk that makes it so when you gain Bloodlust, you become undetectable. And yeah, it is incredibly easy to lose Bloodlust, so. Worthless perk. I love how there's like certain things in this game that they don't buff or add because it'll allow people to tunnel better. So they just don't do it. Like, what happens if Territorial Imperative made it so when people entered the basement for like 10 seconds they become exposed or something like that, right? But that would cater to people using the kill dungeon. You wouldn't want that, right? You wouldn't want pressure in one of the parts of the game that's actually useful with killers, right? There is Monstrous Shrine, which we did use for a little bit. That was kind of a cool perk to use when I did dungeons a lot. Which actually works out pretty well because people time the dungeon around the amount of time it takes to sacrifice someone, and because they sacrifice earlier, they'll actually go for saves too late, and they'll die on the hook when they get down to the dungeon, thinking that they have enough time. It's actually pretty hilarious. They also will never try to 4% because of the difficulty on 4%ing. Hurts you a lot more if you miss. Pretty weird interactions, and I ran Monster Shrine for about a week during Degenerate Hours, so that's prior to MMR, but Degenerate Hours is when all the sweaty players play, and the cheaters, so. Alrighty, guys. I'm out here for this evening, guys. Tomorrow will be more Dead by Daylight, so you guys have that to look forward to. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching my stream as always, and I hope you guys have a fantastic, wonderful Monday night, Tuesday morning. Have a good day, chat.